Hi, so this is a video on people who you don't know that friend request you on Facebook or connect with you on LinkedIn. For me, my privacy settings are the only people who could friend request me have to be a friend of my friend. I used to have it open to everyone, and I found that a lot of random people were adding me, and that's not so much the issue. It was more people that maybe just clicked on my profile picture because they thought I was cute or they like what I posted, but then they didn't really want to connect. They just want to add me because back then Facebook was big into games and apps and stuff like that, right? And so, you know, if you remember, there were Mafia Wars and those kind of games where it helped if you had a lot of people you knew. Not that I ever played that game, but I found that people were adding me because I had one friend that was big into Mafia Wars. Anyway, I actually had a friend list of almost 5,000. And while some people might think, oh, hey, it's great to know that many people, I found the experience, I was neutral. I didn't really see the point of having that many people. Mind you, my Facebook is 10 years old, meaning I've been on Facebook for a decade. And so I feel, I don't really connect or vice versa to some of the people, and they probably don't remember who I am, or some of them don't interact whatsoever. And so I remove them from my profile or friend list. And that took a while because that's almost 5,000 people. And so I narrowed it down to people I actually am related to, people that I am friends with in real life or in person. Like if I've met them in person and interacted with them, and I've kept a handful of friends that I've made online over the years that, I've had at least an ongoing conversation with, a connection with, and maybe I didn't hear from this person for like a year or more because, like, for example, one of them was serving in the army and then he disappeared for a while and then he resurfaced and then, life. So, anyway, I'm proud to say that I have a very small friend list on Facebook, and by small, I mean 400. And I actually keep it around that number. I've read somewhere that actually the best number of people to have is around 200, and so I just doubled that number. And the reasoning behind that is because 200 in real life is like an average number that most people know or interact with on like an acquaintance friend level. And so, if you have your family, your people that you know from tennis, for example, I have those people, it's more manageable. And I don't spend so much time now removing people from my list. I do, however, remove people that never say anything. So, for example, if you are a mutual friend of my friend and you requested me, I always reach out and say, hey, thanks for adding me. And some people take a while to respond, so I give them 2 weeks. But within 2 weeks, if I haven't heard from that person, no reaction to my message, because I do want to have that connection. It's like if you added me to your list and you don't want to interact or say anything or post or like, or basically you're not doing anything, I don't see the point of being connected. But for some, it's very clear for me to remove them quickly because without even a conversation or a response or a comment or anything, like you can tell that they just want to use you. And I say that because I know you've had this experience. There's so many people on Facebook, and not specifically Facebook, but this video is about Facebook. They're just interested in inviting you to their group or selling you a service or a product, or they want to invite you to their page, and their page is either promoting themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like that's a bit premature. It's like lazy selling. For example, there was this one group that I joined because it was about women entrepreneurs, and there was stuff on the group rules and description that says make connections with people before you sell them anything. Yet the first welcome message was this lady actually selling two kinds of memberships, Anyway, I filmed a separate response video about that because I was just so turned off that as soon as I joined and was accepted after the screening questions, to be pitched like that, it just felt sleazy, and so I left immediately. Anyway, I hope this is not coming across as a rant video. If it is, I apologize. It's more a reflection video. I was hoping that you would share what you do when you have people like that, people who request you on Facebook that you don't know them, but you see they're a friend of your friend. Do you delete them? Do you interact with them? Do you just let them hang out on your list? Because I feel too, it's like I have posts that are private and posts that are public. So the private ones are like for friends only. The public ones are obviously, there are people that follow me who are my fans. And you know, it's like some of them, they don't send me a friend request, they just want to follow me because I do have awesome posts and I do post amazing content, for example my food stuff. But I digress. Anyway, you know, for whatever reason they're following me, they don't or cannot add me as a friend, and so they're there as a fan or a follower. And I do say fan because for Instagram there is that feature where they can follow you without being your friend as well. Anyway, so on Instagram, this is not so much a problem, just on Facebook. And on LinkedIn, what I'm finding is there are these people, either they're fake recruiters, you know what I mean? Like they post a job and say, hey, you're qualified for this, but really they're after your bank information. And so you know immediately that that's a scam, right? Like if you're applying to a job, why would you need to pay for something? Why would they need like your checking account information, that kind of thing? So if it's not a scam, it's some kind of like identity theft thing going on, and it's just, you know, you should know that's wrong and you should never respond to that. And a good thing to do is to report that to LinkedIn and block that person and, you know, mute the messages or whatever. But there was this one offer one time saying, oh, we're hiring for Amazon for admin. But when I looked at the person, one, they didn't have a profile photo on LinkedIn. And if you claim to be a recruiter, there's nothing on your profile. And then you don't even have like an Amazon email address. It's like some Hotmail. And it's a woman writing to you, but the address is like a male, like a man's name. You know what I mean? Like I know there are men's names that are popular, for example, in the UK and Australia, like Ashley is a guy's name. Could be a guy's name, but mostly here in North America, it's a woman's name. So anyway, long story short, it was like Henry something that I was supposed to respond to, but she was pretending that her name was like Callie. And so I'm like, okay, fake, 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 fake. And there's also these people where they just want to sell you SEO services. And so they're either website creators, developers, and you know, they're not interested in having a conversation with you whatsoever. And so some of them, before I can be added on LinkedIn, it's the same thing. It's like they send you a request. Some don't send an email to introduce themselves whatsoever. Some immediately send an email saying, I'm this person, I do this work, and would you be interested? And some are just like in your face spammy. Some of them try to compliment you, by you I mean me. You know, they look at my profile, they see I'm a coach, or they see I've worked in fitness, and they say, hey, great work, you're doing very inspirational work. So they give me a compliment, but then you can tell that they're really just pitching. And so there were these two ladies that tried to add me within the same week, and they both worked for the same company. And long story short, they're like selling coaches on coaching services, you know, like a suite of like website bundle and some kind of ads and that kind of like cohesive branding packages, basically stuff that I don't need because I do that myself. Anyway, so these ladies, I didn't accept their friend request for a month. They had similar emails. It's just, you know, you can tell that they're working off a script because the emails were so similar, like pick something to compliment me on and then request the connection. And then as soon as I accepted, both of them within the same 5 minutes sent me identical emails. And you know, I would have thought they were robots, except they're people with connections, and I guess those connections that are mutual don't mind that they did this. But I was just so annoyed that they were so like, really, you're pitching me services now, and we don't even have a relationship. And yeah, exactly, there's people on LinkedIn that connect with you, and their definition of being in the network is adding you. And to me, I could clean up my LinkedIn. Actually, I think I should. It's gotten to like 900 people. A lot of them, my list basically was limited to people I've met, but then I've noticed, there's value in knowing people in the same industry globally. And so throughout the years, I've either requested people and been requested to be added by people who are in marketing and advertising, in PR, in fitness, or they just saw my profile, or I listened to their podcast or saw an article and I requested that person and they added me. And for the most part, I find people on LinkedIn are more professional, though when they do spam you or get all pitchy, they're all always offering services like social media and web development and that kind of stuff. Anyway, oh my god, I want to edit this video, but it's a pre-recorded live, and so I haven't tried that before. I hope that I can edit this to become short, and I just really wanted to show off this filter because I think it's really great. It's winter in Vancouver right now. We had a week of snow last week, and now it's just rain, 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 and it feels so gloomy and stuff. And I've been putting flowers on my profile picture on Facebook and everywhere else except for LinkedIn. And to know that you have these kind of springtime awesome filters for videos, I'm just so excited about that and so pleased that there's butterflies flying around. And so regardless of whether you heard the point of this whole video, even if you're not listening, just keep looking into I just keep looking into the camera, and so making this video to prolong this whole recording so that you can see butterflies and flowers. And I hope that I've at least made you smile from this video. Anyway, get back at me. Let me know your experience. Let me know what you do. Do you immediately block, mute people, report them, whatever? Because really, these spammy people are time wasters. If you don't need a product or service, you're not looking for it, they just sell you on something you don't need. It's a waste of time, and it's better to just be direct, polite, and say no thanks. Though some of them just keep coming back to you, and it's like you gotta block or report them. I just skip that. And if I notice that they're a lazy or a bad seller, like you don't have a relationship with me yet, we don't have a connection, it's like, no, surely you can do better as a marketer or seller, but I'm not gonna take time out of my busy, amazing life to tell you what you're missing on how your sales tactics are. All right, guys, be kind, be safe, sending you love, and I'll see you soon.